The Site Visit Committee is composed of a committee chair and 4 to 6 members who are experts in the fields related to the grant application under evaluation. Committee members lend their expertise to assess the strengths and weaknesses of the grant application. Site Visit Committee members will have prepared for this visit long before they arrive on site.
So you need to make sure you allocate sufficient time to review their application and to understand what they're hoping to achieve. I think there's many hats as a site visit committee member that you need to think about. You need to think about what is the industrial benefit, what is the university benefit, and then likewise, what are their reciprocal investments in that program.
In the case of ones where I have a proposal, I started to read them as soon as I received them, because the committee chair could be calling me within weeks as a member of the committee to find out if I have any particular issues. The reviews were often taking place in the fall, so they were in fact not that long in lead time after receiving the proposal, so there was not any time to delay.
Obviously the chair of the site visit I contacted fairly early to kind of get an idea of what this was all about, because I'd been on one before, to see exactly what their expectations were of an industry partner to come out there. So we had a couple of conversations on there, looked through the packet, again talked to some of the people that had worked with him before to see just exactly what the research he was doing.
Make sure you've read the proposal carefully. Make sure that you've spoken to the people chairing the site visit and to NSERC if you have questions. Don't leave your questions to the last minute. Ask them immediately. I always found the NSERC people more than willing to help, and in fact the answers were often given to me within minutes or at worst hours of me asking them. The chair is usually someone who's quite experienced as well, so if you are struggling to understand your role as a committee member, some new committee members do, talk to the chair, because the chair will have some sense of how the committee is going to work and how tasks are going to be delegated, probably already in their mind before the review begins.
Individual committee members may be asked to focus on specific aspects of the proposal in their questions to the proponents.
I would always enter some basic discussion with the committee members before the site visit. That would be making sure we understand the agenda, making sure we understand roles. There's a report to be written, preliminary writing assignments so that people know to pay particular interest to certain areas. You should be paying attention to everything, but pay particular interest to an area that you will be in charge of drafting the first response to. When the committee at the end would pose outstanding questions that it might like resolution of, either immediately or at a time that is useful for the evaluation section or other body to make a final determination, that there's resistance. Why are you asking these questions? We answered that, didn't we? Either in the talks or the presentation, and not understanding that the reason we're asking them is because they didn't answer them.
After the visit, committee members may be assigned to write portions of the Site Visit Committee report and must be available to provide comments on draft versions. If the application is funded, committee members may be asked to periodically review the progress of the research.